good this time? We'll start right away though, okay? So we'll have more time to play. So what we're going to do again, just like last time, is we're going to, you're going to declare your side, and I'm going to distribute 2 crayons to each person. We should be able to start with 2 crayons for each person this time, okay? We should be able to build up enough speed and momentum to have everybody use them up. Okay, sound good? Okay, so again, just like last time, I think what we're going to do though is have you actually move to the seats first, move to the side that you want to be on, and then we'll have you rise and state which one you're going to do. Okay, so just a slightly different, and then we'll do the coin toss, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so slightly different. So same fighters. So let's do the same thing, kind of the same way. I think. Who's over here?
Chloe.
Chloe. And over here is Alex. Okay, so have everybody just move to the. Okay, so just move to your side. Okay, you know how this goes then. Okay, pick your captain. Start building your topics. We'll probably hit more topics today because we'll have more time. So I would build about four topics deep, maybe. Okay, 4 topics deep, and pick a captain. Okay, so no cute kitties.
What?
That's what I'm looking for, right there. Fierce. Fierceness.
Can we flip
I am the tiger, baby. Right? I am the tiger. That's what I'm looking for. No fluffy, cute little.
I don't like confrontations.
Okay, so let's keep it professional, but let's get a little bit more intense than last time, maybe a little bit. Okay, and also we should be getting better each time we move on, right? So we know we have to bring examples. We did a pretty good job last time, but I think we should do a slightly better job of bringing those examples in. And when you even when you first state your statement, that could be a little bit more. That could be a little bit stronger as we go along. Each time, right? All right, so let's do this. Let's do this real quick then. Let's go around and give. Let's quick. You don't even have to rhyme. Just give your sentence on why you chose the side that you did. We'll flip our coin and then we'll get to fight.
Oh, we all do it?
Just one sentence. Why did you pick what you did?
Just overall, like his word choice and his rhetorical analysis and the analysis of quotes and everything was really good.
Next.
I picked Alex because I liked his essay better and I felt like it had more detail behind it and everything, actually went into depth of an analysis of the papers he read.
Next.
I liked his analysis and his
Next.
his introduction set up a really good path for this one.
Next.
Alex will win this debate because he did a better overall rhetorical analysis. And that's it.
Next.
I like Alex because his style of writing reminds me of my own.
Next.
Alex's because his use of quotes is effective.
Next.
Yeah, Alex is because he did a better overall analysis and he used quotes a lot better than Chloe did.
Okay.
Alex supported his evidence better with details than Chloe did.
Next.
I liked Alex because he did better overall analysis.
I liked Alex's because he compared different rhetorical strategies way more so than Chloe did.
Next.
I chose Alex because I liked his overall approach on the essay, and I think he did a better job with the rhetorical analysis.
Next.
I chose Chloe. I like her metaphors. I felt that she actually understood the assignment way better than Alex.
Next.
I chose Chloe too because I thought she understood the assignment better and her rhetorical analysis was better.
Next.
Interesting. I chose Chloe because I felt her analysis was more rhetorically strong than Alex's.
Next.
I chose Chloe because I thought that her examples were really good and she did a much better job at analyzing them.
Next.
I chose Chloe because I like the imagery she presented and also the analogies.
Next.
I chose Chloe because she brings something more to the paper than just analyzing quotes. She throws something more in.
Okay.
I chose Chloe because I thought that she was more rhetorically strong and she did a better job at keeping the reader's attention.
I like Chloe's better because I like the tone and I thought she was better at rhetorically analyzing.
Well said.
I chose Chloe's because I like her approach better when she's rhetorically analyzing both her essays.
I chose Chloe because I think hers is overall more interesting and grabs your attention, where Alex I think is boring.
Nice. Yes.
I chose Chloe for her vivid imagery and her thorough analysis.
Cicero.
That's deep.
Cicero to the table. Okay. Okay, so I think, without further ado, give me a coin.
He's got it.
I don't care anything less than 100.
Not a crayon.
I got one.
I'll see you outside of class.
I got a dime.
I got a nickel.
That'll buy it.
Don't care anything less than
Okay, so who's your captain?
Yo, yo.
Who's your captain?
Kevin.
Destiny. Call it in the air, see.
Heads.
It's gotta be Tail.
It's heads!
Ah!
Head!
You guys.
Who's nickel?
Or do you want?
Let's pass.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
You
Go
choose
ahead. Hit the eye of the tiger.
Would you like to receive or defer?
Come on, that's
We'll
the
receive.
kitty stuff for.
What's that?
Okay,
No, we want it.
we'll start off.
You gonna start?
Family
All right
years.
then.
Come on,
Okay.
you're gonna pass or play.
All right
One
then.
ball.
Okay.
Where's the
Game show people, you get the deals.
I got you.
So, let's play with Phil.
And so it begins.
Alright, so our first topic is obviously the introduction, because it's the first thing that you see. And I felt that Chloe's introduction was way better than Alex's introduction, because she does a better job of setting up what exactly the assignment was. The assignment was to rhetorically analyze, but it's also important to bring in the audience and the readers. And he says a lot of I, kind of like his last paper. He says, I will demonstrate my current abilities. And he also says that it will strengthen his own abilities in writing. And he says a lot of I, and I feel like Chloe does a better job of setting up what she's going to talk about, and she brings the reader in right away.
Anything else?
I was gonna say, I like how she refers to the main arguments in her paper, like the paragraph as the guts of the essay. Something simple, but it's just, I don't know, it just kind of caught my attention.
Okay. Anybody else? Yeah.
She goes ahead and jumps right into using imagery, where as he not as much, she's immediately able to grab the reader's attention.
Okay, I think we had one, I think Steffi, and then Chris, and
I
then,
like how right off the bat she tries to create a sense of ethos by referring to like a higher source by the dictionary of this is what it's defined as, and then she breaks it down to like meals, saying that how the appetizer, the entree, and the dessert. I felt that helped strengthen her piece and help her audience understand better.
okay, Chris.
I think the difference between Alex's first introduction and Chloe's is that in Alex's he's saying what's going to happen in the paper, and Chloe's saying how she's going to do it.
Okay, I hope you guys are taking notes, because you're just getting bombarded right now. And I hope that you're managing this information. I think there's one more.
Oh.
No, Steffi, go ahead.
Also in Chloe's, her title talks about format and rhetoric, and I think her introduction has more of like a focus and a theme that she's heading towards the format, as it says, and also she automatically brings in metaphors that she uses, like the 2x4s that make up the walls of her house and the guts and whatnot. I know we briefly talked about that, but I think that's a good strategy in like creating a visual image as to like what a paper is consisted of and how she's going to set it up for her readers.
Okay, over here, and then Lisa.
I feel like her introduction's way better. I mean, her title's way better than Alex's. She automatically brings in the audience by saying it's format important with a question, and then tells what the paper will be about. And by having a question in the title, it makes people think, oh, well, that makes them think, and then they try and relate to it. And I just think her title completely washes Alex's paper out of the water.
Woo! Strong words. Okay, Lisa.
I think she did a better job at saying exactly where she got her papers from. And she said that it's from essays across the discipline, where he doesn't say where he got it from. He just said 4 pieces that he recently studied, but he didn't say where he got it from. Like, it makes it seem like he just randomly found it, kind of, so to speak. Alright.
Anything else? Holy guacamole. Man, I think everybody's down to one crayon. Good enough? Holy cow, they just let loose. Okay, I would take a minute.
Quantity over quantity.
Go ahead, take a minute,
You
okay?
guys did great. Would you like to take away the first, you wanna do the title since?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Alex's title is really strong because he articulates by putting the finest in quotes that he's not only going to be discussing rhetoric in the essay, comparing the two essays, but he's also going to be comparing what works best for each style of essay rhetorically.
Cool. Moving on to the intro, you wanna say something about the intro?
Okay, I liked his intro better than Chloe's because within the whole intro it tells us what he's actually going to compare. This whole intro is very clear about what the essay is going to be about. He says comparison on the two pieces through means of analysis on structure and factors such as vocabulary, subtitles, headings, introductory, and conclusive paragraphs. And he did do that throughout the whole throughout the whole paper. And then he also says that he's going to analyze quotes from both pieces to show rhetorical strategy.
Cool.
And also the introduction, he explains how writing this paper will benefit himself and other students, which also makes it more relatable to the readers. Because if the readers are reading this, they're also learning about rhetoric, and so they could improve their writing. Whereas Chloe, she doesn't really relate it.
Okay, what else, group?
Throw some thesis in there?
Yeah, I want to talk about the thesis. So Chloe's thesis is, quote, by figuring out what the introduction and conclusion are doing, how the topic sentences and subheadings are used, how the claim or argument is constructed, and if the way the essay was written complements the information being given. But she doesn't really say why. Why is rhetoric important? She does say understanding that rhetoric is the structure of writing. We can use it to analyze and respond to someone else's writing. That's kind of a general statement though. It's kind of implied. What Alex says is, this assignment should strengthen students' abilities as well as my own to analyze multiple pieces of literature at a time while comparing them to one another rhetorically, in turn aiding us in becoming better writers for the future. And that's basically the why. It's a general statement about rhetoric to say that understanding rhetoric will help us become better writers for the future.
I like that.
What else?
Yeah, because anybody could read through an essay and do what Chloe is supposedly supposed to be doing, say, oh, how subheadings are used. Oh, the subheading is used here because it's stating what's going to come next, and just explaining how the argument is constructed. Anybody can do that by just looking at a paper, but I think Alex really goes into explaining how this is effective through writing, and she just doesn't talk about that at all in the intro.
Okay. Yeah, that was
Took that.
Yeah.
Get some quality stuff.
Yeah, captains, make sure you're managing those crayons, all right?
Oh my
And, because everybody, we should be fair
We
about
tapped
this.
out.
What else, guys? You're on a roll. Keep
that was
going.
kinda it, wasn't
Catch
it?
that momentum and roll with it. What else?
Did we feel good on the rebutment? Is that our,
What?
rebuttal? I make up words sometimes, it's okay.
What is Shakespeare?
Irregardless.
Yeah. What else, guys? Is that it?
I feel like Chloe's way of how she started saying, as defined in the Webster Dictionary of Rhetoric as the art of speaking and writing effectively, that's it's just such a thing that's used all the time in essays, just dictionaries, and from me reading that, it didn't grab me. I was like, okay, I've used that technique before and it didn't work. But with Alex, he started off with a question, what better way is there to teach rhetoric than having one student analyze it by his or herself? And he's involving his audience already.
What else?
Yeah. So pretty much, I feel like she's writing to an audience that would already know what rhetoric is. Although maybe she's writing to the professor, you still need to explain yourself. You can't just say rhetoric is this. You can't just copy and paste from a dictionary the definition. You need to actually explain yourself and help other people who's reading it who might not know what rhetoric is.
What else?
That's not what we call our crowns.
No, because I'll redistribute them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, once you've used your crayons, I redistribute them.
Oh, let's
Okay?
go.
But I gotta have every little nook and cranny responding. Everybody's gotta respond, right? So, yes.
I was just gonna add that I think Chloe's title is a little bit misleading as compared to Alex's, because she says, is format important? Well, she's not only talking about format, she's talking about rhetoric used through language use, structure, format, all different ways throughout writing a paper, not just the format.
Ooh, mama. What else?
Nice.
Yeah, take it away.
Going based off the title, I re-looked at it, and the two essays that he was comparing, he put that into it, so, like, that means that he must really, like, discuss these papers very thoroughly.
I like that, I like
This
that.
title was different than hers.
Yeah, it was a lot different. I like it a lot more. It pulled me in.
Okay. Did you want to officially speak? No? You're amen, huh? Amen. Amen. Okay, anybody else? Ooh, nice counter. I was a little nervous there for a second. All right, you want to come back at that?
Yeah.
Okay, take a second.
Amara said that she doesn't really explain rhetoric like she addressed it, but she didn't like explain it, so people might not know. But in the prompts or syllabus, it says that the audience is primarily me. He's a professor, so he should know what rhetoric is. We shouldn't have to explain it, so it's not necessarily for
I feel you on that.
because you know,
I don't feel
you know,
you.
his teacher, he's teaching us it. That's it, man.
Okay, so I'd like to make a comment. Someone on the other
Hold on.
side claimed that, you know, claimed that Alex was so good at, you know, like backing up what he said in the, like setting up his argument and subheadings, but really, I didn't see anything, any evidence, like it didn't follow through in the essay. And Chloe clearly states, by figuring out what the introduction and conclusion are doing, how topic sentences or subheadings are used, how the claim or argument is constructed, and if the way the essay was written complements the information being given, you will understand how each essay was able to get their point across. She actually follows through with what she says, whereas Alex just kind of drops it. He doesn't really elaborate on his topics in the beginning of the introduction.
Ooh, yeah.
I want to dabble in on what Cody said. I feel that Alex has no strong sense of ethos. He talks about in his title about good writing, yet his own writing is weak. He uses tell over show method. Like, he tells the audience how he's going to prove it by saying, I will demonstrate, which if he should prove it rather than say it. While also I feel that Chloe has a stronger sense of ethos because she does refer to a higher source.
Meh.
Okay.
Okay, somebody talked about the title, Alex's title, and it says rhetoric at its finest. And finest is in quotes, so I feel like that word is like above, like you're gonna go like your hardest to explain what rhetoric is. And I feel like he's trying to come at the readers like a tiger, but he's really coming at the readers like a kitten. Like I feel like it laughs.
That's alright, our feathers aren't.
But yeah, it just lacks. Like the title's like this huge title, but when his paper comes at the end, it's just like, womp. It's just like, like a womp. Take it or leave it. Well, here's my current.
What else? What else? We good?
Hold on a second.
In the assignment sheet, it said that like if you wanted to add different sources, so I feel like she actually brought that in, and it was on the I don't know, task or like purpose.
I was trying to say that.
What else? We good on the counter? Do you need another counter, or are we played out?
I mean.
Okay, one more counter, and then we're gonna move to a new topic.
I got one crayon to use here. Alright. My team doesn't want a rebuttal, but this talk about tigers and kittens and all this BS. Let me tell you something. I read her title a bunch of times. I'm sitting here staring at her title. Is format important? Rhetoric and its use in written structure. All I'm saying is Chloe's title doesn't even try to be a lion or a tiger. Her title's like a wounded buffalo struggling at the back of the pack, waiting to be devoured by Alex's masterful and straightforward beast. Right.
Anything else on the same?
Take my credit out. That's cash money. Right?
You good? You good?
I'm good. I'm real good.
Do you want to just do one last little
Feel
one?
great.
One sentence. There's one thing to say you're a tiger, and there's another thing to be a tiger. He says he's gonna talk about it at its finest, and he doesn't show it at its finest.
She showed
I think this is going to be a nice segue into the next topic. You ready? You ready to launch?
We're ready to go.
Okay, do it. Here it comes, y'all. Listen carefully.
The next topic of discussion today will be use of quotes and effective analysis of those quotes. We, as a group, feel that while Chloe uses quotes and she uses her nice chunky quotes, and that's fine and all is well and good, we feel that Alex does a much better job of breaking down the quotes that he uses, really analyzing them, and letting the reader know exactly what is the type of rhetoric that's being used, and all the little pretty things about it. And we think Chloe fails in that regard. So now we are going to defend that claim as a team and as a unit. Let's hear it, boys and girls. Yep.
Alright, so as you know, there's a general rule when you're using quotes, and that rule is being that in order to have any kind of credibility about using quotes and to make it look like not just filler, you have to analyze said quote to at least the amount or longer than the quote actually is. Now, I'd like to direct your attention to, well, I'm going to count it as a paragraph 4 of Chloe's, and it is an entire quoted paragraph. And let's see, oh no, you get your turn. He gets our, she puts this entire long quote, then 2 sentences, it's a block quote, I know what it is, and 2 sentences about that quote, and then she goes on to another quote. I don't know, to me, this is just, to me, this is just an attempt to fill space, and she's really not going into any in-depth analysis about said quote. It's just, and to go directly into another quote is just too much over-quoting for me.
What else?
Yeah.
How we feeling?
Going off of that same sunny day quote, because both of them seem to use that quote, and I don't know why. Personally, I hated that quote. No. Anyway, so when we get into Chloe's analysis of the quote, her analysis is, he gets our minds to an image of a sunny day, the warmth from the sun, the wind blowing crisp clean air. It's as if we are there with him. She basically says what the quote does, whereas when, now I just lost it. There it is. Comparing exemplary writing to a shining day, he actually takes the quote and tells us why she used it in a rhetorical sense in this piece, or why Jonathan used it in a rhetorical sense in this piece, whereas Chloe just says what it is in the piece of, hey look, he talks about a sunny day, whereas Alex actually says he uses the sunny day as a comparison to exemplary writing.
Wait, can you just put that out in his essay? Like, I just want to follow along with your reading.
He doesn't use as long of a quote as Chloe
Oh,
because
I
he
see.
actually knows how to quote properly.
Hold on. That's why you wait. That's why you remember it, or you make a note, and then when it's time to come back, you come back. Okay, Tom.
Okay,
Hold on.
2 sentences after what Matt just read. After this analogy of a sunny day to good writing, all explains rhetoric and how it is the how of good writing. This is crucial because understanding rhetoric and its relationship with good writing is what the paper is about. Well, that's like saying, this is the quote and this is what the quote said, but it's not at all rhetorical analysis. It's just saying, well, it's like, I don't know, it's like having the Mona Lisa and then drawing the Mona Lisa with a pencil. It's like not really anything of substance, it's just reiterating. And then right after that goes into a completely different quote. from the other paper.
Okay, what's the question?
Where were you reading that from?
It's Chloe's paper.
I
Chloe's paper.
know, but which?
Can you give a paragraph number?
4, 5,
Is
4,
it after the
4
first
is the
big
block quotes.
Okay.
Okay, she's good, she's good. Okay, yes.
And also she says, where is it? When she talks about the introduction and she talks about lakes, she quotes the, Chloe quotes the, she goes, as I am about to show you, Norashio's depiction of the enunciation, both accords with my ideas and observations and conflicts. That's the quote that Lake uses. And then she just states, now this kind of introduction will work when the writer is able to use first person, but when it comes to writing the third person, this cannot be done. Like, that doesn't do any rhetorical analysis whatsoever. And then she just goes into Old's essay and doesn't even talk about how it's rhetoric.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you just spoke 3 times, dude.
She's got a friend.
Dude.
She brought her own.
Did I know that she brought her own?
Alright, well,
Somebody like to repeat what she just said?
Therefore, it's plagiarism.
Okay.
The
Woo!
fact that she
Fierce.
quoted a dictionary and didn't use quotes or a citation.
Yeah, but she said according,
It's alright, we'll let him have
or
it.
as
Plagiarism.
Okay,
Mistrial.
what else from this side?
Anyone else feel like throwing
The
it?
second to last paragraph.
Hold on,
She
second
has-
to last paragraph.
She has 3 straight quotes in a row from our friend. What's his first name? John.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just 3 straight quotes in a row. There's no analysis of those quotes at all. Just here's a quote, here's a quote, here's a quote. Drop the quote, 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 quote.
She would say like a quote and then would say, this statement expresses the claim as being one of insight with students. That's it. And then she had another quote, says, Blake states that Morocco deserves praise for taking his time, which as we find out later in the proof is something that he believes to be important. That was it. And then another quote, and the last sentence was Blake emphasizes the importance of taking care, which we also found out in the inclusion is something that was to be understood from the paper. Like there's no analysis, it's just stating.
Like that?
There must have been a reason why I liked Chloe. Okay, anything else?
No comment?
But, going based off that, like the quotes and everything, I was looking back at Alex's, like he was like into like really describes the quotes, but Chloe's just like.
And that is what we look at.
Wow, okay, strong.
Yeah.
Strong.
Yeah. Well done.
Okay, so just like when you started and you were hammering on them, they kind of just hammered on them. I would take some time, I would take a minute. Please.
Okay, so I believe Matt said that, this is just, I just want to point this out. I think Matt said that she improperly cites a quote, but if.
I was just making a joke about the dictionary.
No, that's fine. I'm talking about the good writing like a sunny day, blah, blah, how she actually has that in a block. If you have more than so many lines, you have to make it its own paragraph. Somebody said it over there, I know I heard it.
yeah, it's called block
Alright,
citation.
okay, sorry, Matt.
We're a
Go.
team, we speak as one.
Okay, gotcha. Alright, team. Somebody said that she improperly cites the quote, and I just want to point out that she doesn't improperly cite the quote, and also in Alex's piece. Never mind. I'm just not gonna go into it. But she does not improperly cite it. Also, I want to rebuttal the whole how she slams quotes in the second to last paragraph. But if we're reading the same paper, you'll see that the first half of that paragraph is analyzing all those quotes. And like, yeah, you could argue that, she slams too many quotes in there, this and that, and I see your argument, but I can also argue the fact that this is a rhetorical analysis, and in order to support what you're saying, you absolutely need quotes. And maybe she uses one too many, but she also uses quotes from both papers, so it's not like she's just saying this and then slamming you with quotes. Also, the purpose of that paragraph is that she's arguing the claim or the argument of a paper, and that is what a paper is made out of. So it needs a little bit more quotes, it needs a little bit more explanation, and it needs to be a little longer. And if she needs to use more than one quote to reinforce her point, then so be it. At least she is analyzing the quotes. You guys were just arguing that she doesn't analyze it, but if you read the first like 7 sentences of that paper, you'll see that she's explaining the quotes in full detail and their purpose as in that paragraph.
Okay, what else? What else, guys?
Okay. Well, in the meat of Alex's paper, he fails to go back into the things that he said that he was going to do at the beginning. Like at the beginning, he says that he's going to look at the structure and factors such as all these other things. He mentioned subtitles and heading. That's the last time he even says subtitles and heading for the whole paper. The next thing is that his first quote that he drops the good writing like a sunny day is so innately enjoyable that it's difficult to isolate its good qualities. Rather than we seem to enjoy the complete experience indivisibly. And his entire analysis of that is very enchanting. Okay. And the next sentence, which Matt brought up, which is comparing exemplary writing to the shining sun, like, yeah, he's saying that, but he's saying the rest of it is indeed very nice and captivating, but does not relate to the rest of the piece. So, I mean, I think that's like not even a good quote to bring up for what he's trying to say. And then his second quote, which is right after that, only has one sentence of analysis. So when you guys said that Chloe uses 2 sentences, we're doing double the work.
That was good, that was good.
Okay, what else?
We should end on that.
What else? You're trying to sink somebody's battleship. My goodness. Okay, you need to take a minute. Yeah, take a minute, okay? Here we go.
How you guys feeling down there? I'll come down there.
I think they're under control. I think there's some, I think there's good support down there. All right. Now do it. Tear it up. Just jump out of the jungle.
Show your crayon first.
Fierce.
So going back to the second to last paragraph, you say that he analyzes the quotes in the beginning, but that's actually Yules, like Yules or whatever. But then you get Lakes. Those are Lakes quotes. So like it's not the same person that you're analyzing quotes for. Does that make sense?
Are you analyzing Chloe's?
Yeah. Because I'm talking about what you said. You were like, he analyzes all the quotes in the beginning, and then he just lists the she. Chloe. Oh yeah, Chloe.
Doesn't matter what Chloe is.
Yeah.
Chloe could be a guy.
Sorry.
There's like, you know.
Wait, can I clarify myself? Because I don't think I spoke. I don't care. Go ahead.
That's okay. Maybe next time.
I really don't care.
Okay.
What else?
I'm there.
It's cool. It's cool. What else, guys? Joe.
I just like to say that I just put Chloe's paper into Word because that's what we like to do in here, and I took out everything that's not a quote and double spaced it, and there are 1.5 pages just of quotes.
Wow, that doesn't sound like the assignment sheet. Oh boy.
I'm just saying. With this. Same with this. Did you do the same with this?
No, that would help. That might hurt my argument.
Oh yeah.
You ain't supposed to say that, Cracker.
Okay. What else from this side? What else?
I don't care.
Okay. No more. You good? You good? Do you guys want to get a few more
Hold
words
on,
in
I'm
edgewise?
still working with the word. His is 2 full pages. 2 full pages
We have
of quotes. So you're
Yes.
argument
Did you say that her
null and
paper
void.
was
If that's a good point. If I may
think
offer
they
a
both
rebuttal, I don't really
they
care.
both use the same amount of quotes, but Chloe does a better job at analyzing.
So let's just say that the point is null and void, and we'll move on from there.
One man leave. 2 man enter. 1 man leave. Okay.
Wow, that's crazy.
Okay, I kind of let it go there for a second. Let's rein it back in. Control.
I really can't.
Control.
Well caffeinated.
Cleansing breath. Okay. Okay, so where were we? Over here? Do you guys want to add a little bit more to that? Or are we good?
Good for that topic.
Are we good for that topic? Okay, we're moving on to yet one more topic. I think we're just gonna have enough time for one back and forth, right? One round, and then we're gonna go into closing statements, okay?
Yeah, taking too long over
Our
there.
topic is imagery.
imagery.
Just start. Oh, okay. So she uses imagery throughout the entire thing. She goes ahead and starts off with talking about the 2x4s that make up a house. The ingredients used to make a tasty meal. And she uses that one analogy throughout the entire paper and continues to reference it. She talks about like the courses in a meal, everything like that. If you look at his, he uses, I think, 1 or 2. He uses a muscle without cells and fibers, and that's really it.
Yeah, cause
She also talks about the rainbow, about how it flows. Picture a rainbow, the distinct colors streaming across the sky. We know the colors transition from one to another, but this transition is subtle and even unnoticeable. The job of transitions between colors in a rainbow can be compared to the job of topic, sentence, or subheadings in a paper. And that goes ahead and ties in once again where she mentions it and follows through with what she had stated in the beginning, whereas he does not.
Boy, that's a good point. Okay, real quick.
I feel that Chloe is more of an academic writer than Alex. Her use of imagery was going beyond the assignment. The assignment says to use quotes that are used to back up your sources with outside information. Literally, maybe an elementary student could write this paper. All you did was just compare rhetorical analysis, and she actually brought in a lot more metaphors and imagery than Alex did. Throughout the whole paper.
Okay, 2 comments. 2 comments back.
We got one.
Mark.
I think she just used the imagery too much because she spent like so much of time talking about appetizers and desserts and rainbows. Instead of like,
Sounds like a kid to me.
Elementary schoolers.
It like just reminds me of like when you were in elementary school and you had to write about like your favorite food and it's like these pancakes tasted good. Like that's all I get from this. Like it's supposed to be more academic.
You're not going to have time to rebut, but you can build it into your final.
Somebody else.
You can build it into your final.
Build it in.
What else? Nothing? You got nothing. Okay? Okay, so closing comments. I need 2 people who have not spoken. I need somebody who has not spoken over here. You guys have no crayons left?
No crayons.
Really?
Everybody has spoken.
Anybody can speak then. Anybody can do your final. You need to pick somebody who hasn't spoken yet to do your
Didn't see that
final.
coming.
I think that Chloe's paper was overall better organized, better written, and better delivered than Alex's paper. She not only had a better overall analysis of the paper, but she also brought in other sources and brought more imagery to the paper that really engaged the reader. When I was reading Alex's paper, I literally wanted to fall asleep. He did not stick to what he was going to say, and his paper was literally all over the place. The assignment said to use a fair amount of quotes to back up her stuff, and she truly did that. And I feel that Alex's quotes were not only lacking, but his analysis was very weak when he analyzed them afterwards. So, as well as even if he had more sentences afterwards, after his quotes, they weren't good sentences and they weren't good analysis. So just because there's more there doesn't mean that it was better.
And at the end of the day, her better imagery was referred back to and correlated with throughout the entire paper. If you bring up the appetizers, the desserts, and all the other things, the guts. She also did a better job following through what she said in her introduction. She said she was going to do a bunch of different things. She explained and analyzed each one of those different things. Alex failed to do that same thing, and his final quote even says, in the end, both writers are concluding about 2 completely different subjects. One author is concluding on factual evidence, while the other is summing up the ideas of known opinion. While they both have a bit of mixed facts and fictions, the comparison between the 2 pieces can only be commented on in the areas of structure.
Ooh. Oh.
Come on.
Okay, 1 minute.
I think Chloe used too much of her own rhetoric rather than the way the 2 writers used it in their essays. I feel like she didn't analyze rhetoric as well as Alex did. She was kind of schizophrenic the way she wrote her paper by using 2x4s and appetizers and desserts and rainbows, and it just doesn't flow. It's just all over the place.
You don't have a country.
What else you got?
You girls talking!
We don't need a long conclusion.
Someone else
Winners.
I love it.